Hello, I will be presenting the organs of the female reproductive system. My name is Kayla Johnson and I am a student at Liberty University studying a Master's of Medical Science concentrating in public health. Here's a scripture from Psalm 51:6. Yet you desired faithfulness even in the womb. You taught me wisdom in that secret place. The female reproductive system is located in the pelvic cavity, made up of internal and external sex organs that all function in reproducing new offspring. The female reproductive organs consist of the vagina, cervical canal, cervix, ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, uterine fundus, ovarian ligament, fimbriae, endometrium, myometrium, and perimetrium, though the major organs are the vagina, uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries, and cervix. So the first organ to be discussed, a part of the female reproductive system, is the vagina. It is an elastic muscular canal that is inferior of the cervical canal and extends from the perineum into the pelvic cavity. It ranges in size and depth per female. So the entrance of the vagina is formed by the external female organ known as the vulva that includes the mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, clitoris, urethral meatus, and the vestibule. The vagina connects the uterus and the cervix to the outside of the body, allowing sexual intercourse, menstruation, and childbirth. So the vagina is also known as the birth canal. So the cervix is inferior to the uterus and is shaped as a short, broad cylinder with a narrow central channel located inferiorly to the uterus and superior to the vagina. Two parts are the external os and the internal os. The external os is the part of the canal that opens into the vaginal cavity. The internal os is superior to the external os and opens into the uterine cavity. The cervix allows the flow of menstrual blood from the uterus through the vagina, and it also directs the sperm into the uterus during intercourse. The uterus, also known as the womb, is a muscular organ about the size and shape of an inverted pear in the midline between the bladder and rectum, located in the suprapubic or hypogastric region of the abdomen. The wall of the uterus is made up of three layers. The endometrium is the inner layer that lines the uterus. There's the myometrium, the middle layer, and the thickest layer. And then there's the perimetrium, which is the outer layer of the uterus. It is also divided into three parts. The fundus, which is a rounded structure superior to the entrance of the uterine tubes. There's the body, a major portion of the uterus. And then there is the isthmus, which is a narrow region between the body of the uterus and the cervix. The uterus is supported by the mesometrium and round ligaments, and it functions to nurture the fertilized eggs that will develop into a fetus, and it also holds the fetus until ready for childbirth. The ovaries are the primary female reproductive organs. There are two, approximately the size of 3 centimeters, shaped as almonds that lie adjacent to the lateral pelvic wall, inferior to the pelvic inlet, with each held in place by ligaments connected to the uterus. There are two main functions of the ovaries, one to produce reproductive hormones, and also the second to produce eggs for fertilization. The process of ovulation and fertilization is controlled by the cells in the ovaries that produce and secrete hormones. The image shown is the inner portion of an ovary. So the last organ, a part of the female reproductive system that I will be discussing, are the fallopian tubes, also known as uterine tubes or oviducts. They are each approximately 10 centimeters in length and 1 centimeter in diameter, located bilaterally at the superior area of the uterine cavity. Now each tube contains three parts, with the first part being the isthmus, which is closest to the uterus, as noted in green, the ampulla, which is the second part and becomes more dilated in diameter, and it is also known as the most common site for fertilization, and noted in red, the infundibulum is the third part, which is farthest from the uterus. Now, the infundibulum also gives rise to the fimbriae, which are the structures that are responsible for picking up the released egg from the ovary and moves it into the fallopian tubes. So the fallopian tubes transport the eggs to the uterus every month. So there are a number of female reproductive organ health concerns. However, I will be discussing the ones that are listed below. Endometriosis. This is one. It is a problem within the uterus that occurs when the tissue that lines the inside of the uterus begin to grow in areas other than the uterine lining. There's gynecologic cancers, which are cancers of the organs in the reproductive system, such as the cervix, vagina, or ovaries. There's polycystic ovarian syndrome, which happens when there are cysts that occur on the ovaries due to the ovaries or adrenal glands producing more male hormones than normal. There is pelvic inflammatory disease, which occurs when a female that has untreated sexually transmitted diseases such as gonorrhea and chlamydia, which can then lead to the pelvic inflammatory disease. Then there's uterine fibroids, which are benign tumors that grow in and around the walls of the uterus. Shown here on the slide are the references used during this presentation. Thank you for watching.